Despite some minor clashes between protesters and police, the opposition action today concluded after 5 hours without any incidents of violence. During the plenary session, MPs from both the majority and the opposition expressed anger and frustration over the opposition's actions, while outside protests occurred in an attempt to oust the government. The Independent Qualification Commission has decided to dismiss the chair of Prometi Court, Pashkjachi, over concerns regarding his wealth verification. It's 6 o'clock on Thursday, the 21st of March, 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to RTV Ora's English edition. My name is Alexandra, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. Making headlines tonight, the opposition's protest before the parliament did not involve any violent incidents today, and as such, tear gas was not used against protesters. The police took additional security measures in securing all roads to the Assembly building facing the protesters. A clash did occur, however, with the austere residents at the entrance of the pedestrian walkway. With the launch of the parliamentary session, the protest was moved to the entrance of the Assembly Hall. Several times, the protesters tried to break the police cordon. During the protest, there were no stones or other instruments thrown towards the police. According to the Deputy Chair of the Democratic Party, Edi Paloka, the opposition has taken an extreme step. I think there is no greater act than the burning of mandates. The largest, the most extreme act has been realised. Today, we have a parliament that has been illegal since its inception, and this is unconstitutional. The days are numbered for this parliament. Rama's foolishness cannot function with a state that practically does not exist, said Paloka. Meanwhile, Monika Kurumardi continued to make accusations against Edi Rama, just as before the opposition had prepared a reserve plan. After 5 hours of protest, the crowd moved to the police directorate, but the police effectives were there as well. Monika Kurumardi, Flamur Noka and Gazmen Bardi have negotiated to meet with 14 detainees who were participants in the protests. After talks, the Socialist Movement for Integration chair said the arrested persons fear the Rama government. The opposition leaders closed the protest by marching again to the Democratic Party headquarters, where they called for further protests to occur. During the plenary session, the members of Parliament from both the majority and the opposition took time to discuss the opposition protest. A large number of MPs expressed their anger and frustration during speeches delivered from the parliamentary podium. The Socialist Party Parliamentary Group Chair, Talon Bala, said the Democratic Party demonstrations were not supported by internationals as they seek to come into power through acts of violence. I want to personally address Lulzim Basha as the main promoter and orchestrator of opposition violence today in the Assembly Hall. Everyone supporting them are supporting an Albania outside of the EU, as well as promoting domestic instability. Albanians have never seen an opposition leader openly calling for striking officials tasked with maintaining law and order. All the masks have fallen off. Those who killed protesters just 8 years ago now want to come back into power through violence. Old politicians, fearful of the coming new justice, have banded together, Luli, Berisha and Monika, to protect their personal interests at the expense of the interests of the Albanian people, declared Bala. The worst for both political camps was the statement by Muslim Murizi, who reminds the party leaders that they are guilty of incriminating the parliament. Rudina Haidari participated in the plenary session, issuing harsh criticism for the political class. This old political model does not care about the future or the youth. This perverted extremist version of politics that is filled with corruption is the reason we have failed so far in building a truly democratic culture, asserted Rudina Haidari. She also considered the withdrawal of mandates an attempt to bring about a change of power. The withdrawal of mandates to speed up a transition of power is nothing but an extreme escalation of the political behaviour that has been all too common these past 20 years. No one can judge my decision. I will safely take steps to back away from the old style of politics, called Haidari. In a situation where there are 14 new MPs from the ranks of the opposition in the parliament, the Socialist Party has again called on Basha to sit and talk with the majority. Anyone who thinks justice reform has failed is wrong. This was the strong message from the Vice Ambassador of the United States in Tirana, Leila Mosazonis, who stressed that Albania is on the right track and that it should continue to strengthen the standard of ruling law. It is unknown whether the statement was a message to critics, skeptics or opponents of justice reform, but the United States Embassy in Tirana has made it clear that they believe the reform of the judicial system is on the right track. According to the US Vice Ambassador to Albania, anyone who says the reform has failed or has been compromised is simply wrong. Justice reform is on the right track and will soon give Albanians the judicial system they deserve. To anyone who thinks the mission is compromised or has failed, I have a message for you. You are wrong. During a conference organised on the 70th anniversary of NATO's establishment and on the 10th anniversary of Albania's membership in this organisation, Moses Onis said that apart from the principles of collective defence, allies share the values of democracy and freedom. In this aspect, the Vice Ambassador demanded Albania to continue its path to improving the standard of the rule of law as well as other processes. Regarding the regional and global situation, Moses Onis said that NATO presents as a stabilising factor in the Balkans, while calling out the risks as being the presence of third parties, mainly Russia and Iran. The Independent Qualification Commission has decided to dismiss the chair of Prometi Court, Pashk Gjaci. The Independent Qualification Commission has made the decision to dismiss him today based on the evaluation of the 3 criteria. During the hearing, Rapporteur Valbona Sanjaktari identified concerns relating to the judge's inability to justify his wealth and its sources. Pashk Gjaci was present when the decision was detailed in court. He may issue an appeal over the decision within 15 days to the appeals chamber. Problems also arose in relation to the professional image of the judge. Interest groups have accused Infrastructure and Energy Minister Belinda Baluku of causing a significant economic detriment to the domestic business. According to them, Baluku is favouring the import of electricity and hindering the development of clean energy from sun and wind. They add that if the department allows renewable energy to be added to the network, this will significantly reduce import spending. They called for a deadline for resolving the deadlock at a time that renewable energy has become the subject of recent protection because of environmental acts. Renewable energy producers themselves are clients who produce photovoltaic technology in part or for all their energy needs. They want to inject surplus energy into the distribution network to contribute to the supply for the country. About 7,000 foreign tourists are expected in Shenzhen from the 31st of May until the 3rd of June. During this period, the coastal area will play host to the international music festival UNUM 2019. Tourism Minister Blendi Klosi described the event as an opportunity to promote tourism in Albania and stressed that the aim is to make the festival an annual tradition. Success in performing this year's operation will be determined by whether or not Shenzhen is chosen again next year by the organisers of the UNUM festival. This is also an event that marks a real step in promoting Albanian tourism in the region, said the Minister of Tourism and Environment, Blendi Klosi. The organisers of this festival are convinced they have discovered a wonderful location that they want to present to others as well. It is an opportunity for tourists to get to know the beauty of Albania. There is no such place in Europe. This is the reason why we are here, said the chief executive of the group organising the festival. The municipality of Leja have been preparing for the festival for months. We are committed to ensuring that Leja municipality will host a top quality event to kick off the whole tourist season, said the deputy chair of Leja municipality, Enver Hafizi. Apart from promoting the beauty of the Albanian coast, the festival also aims to raise awareness about nature conservation. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of RTV Ora, thank you and good night.